Hello everybody, Darcy Marler here again today. We're going to do something fun today. I'm going to tell you the story about my very first property development, my first new construction project that I did. The reason I'm going to do that is because I think a lot of you might be sitting there thinking, I'd like to do that, but I don't necessarily have the confidence I couldn't do that. That's something really hard. I can tell you, you got this. You really do. Here's kind of the before and after of the first project I did. So I own these two houses, I knocked them down. Actually, I moved them off. And then I built these four new ones, right? So there's two single-family homes on the outside, and then you've got a duplex in the middle. So at that time, I'd been investing for a couple of years, and I'd done some flips. And a couple of them, they came to market just when there was a little bit of an economic bump in the road, not a recession or anything, but I couldn't sell what I wanted for the price I wanted, right? So I ended up renting them, right? So as you do, kind of exit strategy B. So I had done a couple of flips up to that point, a couple of rentals, and that's kind of exactly where most of you are, right? So let's go back to these ones. So I owned the one on the left, kind of hidden by the trees there, and I was just going to flip it. And then unfortunately the person next to me passed away, so his son came over, we talked, and I ended up buying that one too. And I was just going to flip those as well. But then I thought, I always wanted, even when I was a kid, I kind of wanted to build something new, right? I wanted to build a new house. So I thought this would be a perfect opportunity, right? So it was 2 pie lots. I thought, well, I'll sever them. I'll subdivide them into two lots into 4, and then I'll get that ready, right? So here's the original drawing that I did. And then here's the drawing that I had a professional civil engineer do, and they're almost the same. Look how good I am right off the bat, huh? I tell you what. So yeah, you can do that. And then, so okay, what next? Well, you got to design the houses, right? So I had an architectural technologist, not even an architect. So there's a little tip. For something like this, houses and stuff, you can get architectural technologists to do the job. And now, with the internet and stuff, you can actually get initial drawings, renderings, kind of the first blush kind of stuff. You can get that done overseas now too, right? So that's a lot cheaper, right? So I didn't know any of this stuff. Like, I didn't know how to do this. This was 2004, call it. And there was no books. There was no meetup groups. There was no courses. There was no Darcy trying to teach you how to do this stuff. I got nothing, right? So it's all kind of trial and error. I had a realtor who knew something about it, so he was kind of pointing me in the right direction. Do this next, do that next. But for the most part, I was on my own, right? So I started to do up the costing of this. And now, in the course, we've got actually costing sheets. And this is, plug and play with your real numbers. And we've got a community now. So everything that you've got that I didn't have, right? So part of the cost was knocking down the old houses, right? So I got quotes for that. It was like $4,000 each, so $8,000 to knock down these 2 old houses. Out of the blue, somebody phones me up and says, I'll buy those 2 houses and I'll pay you $4,000 each. So I'll pay you $8,000 instead of spending. So that's a $16,000 switch. I thought this was the greatest thing in the world. Don't worry about it. I'll take care of all the moving off and everything. Perfect. So moving day comes. We get the houses moved off. Beautiful. I'm talking to the owner of the moving company. Says, Darcy, I'd have bought these for you for $15,000 each. And I go, what? And he goes, yeah, the guy that you talk to, all he does is every week he goes down to City Hall. He pulls the demolition permits to see who's demolishing stuff. Then he goes talk to you. He'll buy it from you for $4,000, and then he sells it to me for $15,000. I'd buy it from you directly. So next time, just get rid of the middleman, right? So who knew? I could have had even a much bigger swing, but I didn't. But anyway, so houses are off. I still got concrete in the basement. I got to take that out. Here's a picture of my son sitting in the driver's cab there. That's pretty cool. So we start, building foundations for basements where I live. There's basements there. So now you can see my kids and my wife there. I always tried to get the family involved too. And gradually, bit by bit, I built these houses. Now I don't recommend you be your own on-site super, your own general contractor. In my course, I say no. Hire the professionals, get a builder to do it. But I will say that I'm very proud of the fact that I went from the day we moved off the house to having all 4 houses finished, 8 months. So I was really pleased about that, right? So, and I didn't have any experience in this at all. I wasn't a builder or anything. I didn't grow up that way or whatever, right? So you got this, right? So if you've done a couple of flips and a couple of rentals, you're perfectly in position to kind of do this as well. You've got the benefit of having a community now of like-minded individuals, of having the course. We've got the checklist of step-by-step how to do it. We've got Facebook. We've got every 2 weeks we've got a closed Zoom Q&A call with me. You've got direct access to me all the time. Like, it's set up perfectly. So if you've ever thought about doing this, ever thought about designing and building your own houses, you should do it. Like, get in touch with me, and we'll talk about how you can move on to the next step of your personal real estate growth. Love to talk to you. Thanks.